What is up, everybody? It is your girl, Martha D. Stubb, owner of MDMC Entertainment, and today I have a special guest host, Mr. Alex Acevedo from the Facts of Lyfe. What's up?
What's going on?
How are you?
Not bad. How you feeling?
It's been a heck of a day. We're obviously pre-recording, but the beginning of the week is always heavier than the end of the week, so it's interesting. How are you? How was work?
I didn't go to work today.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, okay.
No, I was feeling under the weather.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not coronavirus, though.
Not coronavirus. That's good.
Not coronavirus.
That's good. So definitely, if you guys have been watching these past couple of weeks, we've been playing around with the format of this show and trying to figure out what works and stuff. And I kind of wanted to go back to a serious topic because, and this works perfect for Alex because you are an aspiring entrepreneur yourself. You just started an Instagram account, which I was kind of proud of because you put entrepreneur as
thank you.
Name. I was like, yes, about time.
Trying to get out there.
Yeah, no, for real. But one of the important questions that I get a lot is, investing back into your business. And I was thinking about this a lot today, and I had a thought because, as you know, when I think back in 16, 17, you knew that I was doing MDMC on the side.
Yep.
And you got mad at me because you were giving me advice and I didn't take your advice a lot of the time. So as usual. I have to learn things the hard way. And when things went upside down in November of 2018 for me, the first thing a lot of people told me was, well, you're free. You can start your own business. And I said, oh, hell no. I have to get a paycheck. I have to go get a job. I have to bounce back. I have to do this. And one of the things that I messed up on, and I remember you told me, was, you should put your money into this, while I was still working and had a job. Had I done that, I probably would have been better set up now. So thank you.
Well, that's how we all learn, right?
Yeah, it's just
experience.
It was so stupid because I was thinking back to that today. I was like, God damn it. If I had just paid attention, because we were talking about licenses and doing, a lot of these things that, when you had a steady money flow, so now you are now an aspiring entrepreneur. So I'm going to tell you the same thing. Now that you have you're doing your full-time job and your side, you should throw your money into your side.
You give back my own advice.
Take your own advice. So you started up your podcast. Geez, I mean, you started and you told me in the last when we had all of MDMC East that you plan this out as a science. Did you think of any funds that you want to do? What ways were you going to invest into your business? Because eventually this is going to be a business. I mean, you do make money off your podcast, but what was your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's difficult because I have a team of 3 guys. Well, mm-hmm. I'm including myself, so it's 2 of the men. Not that anything against women, just saying. The other guy's my brother, and the other guy's our friend. We try to put our money into things that will benefit us in the long run. Like, we're not spending $300 on a microphone. We're not dropping, $600 on devices that we don't really necessarily need. We're just, for the moment, we're dropping just dollars here and there on things mm-hmm. that are necessary. And how can I say? I mean, there's no reason to drop so much money if you're first starting off. And if you see you start taking off, eventually you start getting all the good shit, all the hanging microphones and all the fancy stuff. But I will say my first investment for this podcast was this MacBook Pro that I'm talking to you on. Mm-hmm. And that was a heavy investment. So hopefully I'm gonna get my money back on that one because shit wasn't cheap.
It wasn't. I got mine in December of 19. And I I was a little squeamish when I did it because it was like $1,800. And it was an investment towards me because that was right around the time I landed my biggest client. This person or this company takes care of me very well. So I said I got the ROI on this it's going to come back tenfold. I know it will, because now not only do I use it for, I wanted to go into meetings looking legit, and I wanted to, not look like an amateur, with
right.
I have a teeny tiny little notebook, this blue little laptop. I don't have it here with me, but it was a Dell. It was a little piece of shit, and I knew that I had my big meeting coming up with the team, and so I had to go in looking like I belonged, and so
of course you can't walk in with a notepad, Although, no. I mean, you have to work with what you got. You got to work with what you got. You can always buy a cover and make that shit look spiffy and stuff, but it's how you feel inside. Like I can't walk in with this fucking little netbook. Doesn't even fucking connect to the Wi-Fi. I pretend it works.
Well, what was really embarrassing for me was, I spent 233 days unemployed. I counted it out one day because I was writing an emotional post. I actually sat there and counted it out. 233 days. But I went in to work for this stupid bitch downtown. She'll remain nameless. But I walked in with my little blue little notebook because I was broke. I was trying to make ends meet. I sold all my toy collection. And she's like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "It's the only thing I have." And she's like, "Well," and I said, "You said you supplied us with MacBooks." And she's like, "Yeah, I'll get you yours." Well, the girl before me, I knew something was shady. I haven't told you this, but I'll tell you anyway. We'll just keep it between us. And but the girl before me, so I went in and interviewed on a Tuesday, and there was a girl in there, and there was only one other girl. It was the owner and the girl in this big spacious downtown office. And I'm like, what the hell is happening in here? Thought it was really weird, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, if MDMC ever happens, this would be a dope ass office. I'm just looking around and I'm just like, huh. But I did the interview. 3 days later, they hit me up, said, "Hey, you got the job." And then no one was around. I was calling everybody. No one would answer. So I did the Michael Scott thing where it says, "I've learned that if you don't text 911, they don't respond back to you." So I was texting Eddie 911, Lewis 911, and they're like, "Oh God, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yo, I got a job." Well, that Monday, I show up to the office, and she's like, "We are a startup," and I'm like, "Yeah, what happened?" And she's like, "The girl that was here took off with my laptop," and I said, "Oh." So she's like, "You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to use that." She talked so much shit about my shit. So you're gonna have to use that little laptop there, and until I can get you another laptop. I was like, okay. And that girl took off with her laptop, and she lives in Tijuana.
Damn.
I don't think she got it back. It was funny because I know the next day, I think that girl sent her cousin or her friend or somebody to turn in the keys, turn in everything else but the laptop. But that bitch was hella rude. So she looked down on me for my shit. So I knew once I got this big client, I went on my own, I had to have a decent laptop because I didn't want to feel that embarrassment again. Like, I've just never been shaded like that. Like,
it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
The whole experience was fucked up. Oh God, we can go on, but I won't. But yeah,
that was first impressions.
And for sure. And I felt like, there was no preparing me into what I was going into. Like, it literally was, the rug was pulled underneath me and I had no chance of survival. And so I didn't have the resources to get another laptop. I didn't have the resources. Everyone was telling me, you should start your business. You should do this. You should do that. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't realize that I had to, now I had to get a business license. Now I have to hire a tax person, a CPA to do my shit. I gotta, all these other things you don't really account for when you should be starting your business, because at that point, and you and I had talked about it for so long prior to that. And it's just like one of those warning lights, like, hey, you should take.
Yeah, the check engine light.
Yeah, exactly. How you operate, and then you just, then you end up failing, and it just sucks. But
what it is you don't expect it. You don't expect it because you were working for somebody else. You're working for the man. So, you weren't expecting to take off the way you took off now. So then that's why everything hit you at the end. Like, fuck, I need to get A, B, and C in order to do D, E, F, which makes it difficult.
Yeah, man.
It's not your fault. You have to prepare what can happen later on in life, but it's not your fault. You didn't know what was going to come.
Well, that, and it just we get too comfortable. I think because that was a cushy job. Like I did enjoy it, and I really didn't think nothing was going to happen. And so I was able to, yes, I was laying the foundation for other aspects of my business, because I was doing a 9 to 5. I'd come home and then I'd work on the side stuff. And so I was laying that foundation on weeknights and weekends. I'd be traveling all over just to like make those connections. And yeah, I mean, it was all beneficial now because once this bitch downtown let me go too. After 3 months of being there, she let me go too. But and I was expecting it. I think I was more aware of the fact that, if this happened to me once, it could happen to me again. And I don't know whether I jinxed it or not, or maybe I was just woke because I was
bound to happen. Yeah.
I was seeing what was going on. I was like, this probably ain't gonna last long. And so that's when I started laying in, like, all right, let's spend some money on advertising costs. Like I started throwing money into where I needed to be. So I was a little bit more prepared for when I knew that was going to happen. And so when I did, I think it was only a week that I didn't have any work. And then out of nowhere, a girl that I used to go to college with is in Texas. She's an entrepreneur herself that gave me 2 businesses. Her and her husband were like, we're growing businesses. Here's a down payment. She gave me close to $1,000 to start. And then she's like, and your next payment's here in a couple weeks. I was like, boom. And that's what started it. So yeah, it's like, and then she was like, let me help you get your shit going. And so that money was the seed money used to go into the business, because I needed to be legitimate. I had to go pay my CPA, and so
I looked up for you on that one.
Man, I just tell you, I think people need to be more, especially people like you, who you aren't the entrepreneur full time, that if you are in a 9 to 5 that you hate and you're trying to find something that's going to feed your soul on the side, like prepare, research, figure out what the hell you're going to do.
I mean, that's what I'm doing. Like you said, you got cushy at your last job, which my last job agency I worked at was 5.5 years.
Yeah.
And, it was a bad ending with them. So now I'm somewhere else where I have great benefits, but the job does not really give me what I want. So, which is why I'm trying to turn this podcast, like I mentioned before, it went from a hobby, now trying to go into a business. I'm trying to make this shit go. I'm trying to make it go, and I'm trying to be my own boss. I'm not trying to work for the city, the state, anybody else but me.
It's so discouraging. You give so much to somebody else and you're nothing to them towards the end of the day.
Of course.
And it's just,
you give everything. You give everything. You give your time. You give dedication. You give tears sometimes, and at the end of the day, they don't need you, and they replace you and hire the next guy for less.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember that one time I had a really bad meeting at that one job? I called you afterwards. I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
I was like, what the hell? It was right before Valentine's Day. I remember that. Or was it Valentine's Day? Somewhere around that. It was either the day before or the day of. And I just remember because it was such a shitty.
It was a fucked up time.
Yeah, it was just like, what the hell? But yeah, I would think, just preparing and just researching. Like, how did you, what prompted you to even start your podcast? Like, what was it why that instead of YouTube, or what was that road?
So, my brother had a podcast before, with so the other guy, like I said on the podcast, my brother and our friend, and those two have been best friends since like junior high, I believe. So they had a podcast before called the Chat Circus, and they talked about everything, anything, uncensored, all kinds of fucking words flying, no editing. It was just bullshit. And that's all they did. They recorded, upload, record, and upload. I didn't look at the stats with her, but they had fun doing it. So I was like, that's pretty interesting. So then I started looking on online on Facebook. I started looking at different podcasts, and I heard a couple. I didn't hear them thoroughly, but like I kind of skimmed through it, and they're just pretty interesting. Plus, it was during COVID. Need something to do, so I'm like, you know what, man? Let's just give it a try. Let's just talk this shit. So we started off just like talking shit, and
yeah, I remember.
In the beginning, it was it's a bit rough. The beginning's rough. I mean, we have some words flying out there that we're not necessarily proud of, but you know, living here in New York, our vocabulary is a lot different, and you know, it's offensive to others.
Yeah,
and to us, it's just like
every day.
another word. But we've progressed throughout the time, and we've changed things. And I can't go back now, and I'm not gonna take down those episodes because those episodes happened. No. But you can see as we changed and we did different, as you could say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember one episode in particular. I think it was the one you were talking about your daughter FaceTiming her boyfriend. I think it was that. Oh man.
That was a fucking rough time.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Rough for you or rough for the boy?
I mean, it was rough for me because I was trying to be understanding as a parent, and as a father, I figured, you know, I'm not gonna just like shut shit down and that's it, bro. That's it, because I feel she'll do it behind my back. Yeah. And you know, you just tell them no flat out without trying to give them a chance or hear them out, then they're just gonna do this shit on the low. So I prefer for her to come to me with trust and, you know, feel open that she can do this with me or in front of me, rather than just go to a bathroom and FaceTime this kid or run downstairs and FaceTime this kid. Because when I find out, I'm not gonna say, but but I try to be understanding. It was Christmas, you know, but then they took it too far with like constantly FaceTiming, and I said, go clean your fucking room, and this one's over here FaceTiming and cleaning, and then I told her hang that shit up, and then she fucking like an hour later I go into a room, she's in the kitchen doing something, and she left her phone there on the vanity, and I see something there. I'm like, I'll say, the fuck? And I, you know, with the FaceTime, you can put like these emojis on your face, like a bear or some shit. I'm like, this is fucking FaceTime? Oh hell no. Boop.
Oh my god.
Cut that shit off. And then I was like, listen, too much, no more. And then eventually I found more stuff, and then I just like
did
it with the phone. Did I ever send you the picture?
No.
No, I still have the phone.
No, it was funny because it was, I don't know if that was the same one where you guys were saying we don't want to be bashing women. I think that was the same episode. I don't know, but I know where I was when I was listening to it. I was cruising around La Jolla, and I had to go to the post office. I was listening to part of it. Then I was waiting. Partner in crime was in the hospital, so I had to go wait. So I couldn't go into the hospital because of COVID. But so I'm sitting there chilling, eating a burrito. By the beach, listening to this, and I'm dying laughing because I've known you for a good while now, and I could literally see this event all happening through your house. And I'm just like, oh my god, you know, I've had the pleasure of being in your house, so I get the, you know, when you were saying that she was on the doorstep, and you zoomed in on the camera, and she's FaceTime. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, because man, we went somewhere. We had an emergency, so I took care of the emergency, and she happened to stay home with her grandma and her grandfather. And then, you know, it hits my ears that, you know, homegirl decides that she went downstairs by herself without permission. So first of all, that was a fucking red flag.
Right.
It's like, it's New York City. It's 10 o'clock at night. 13-year-old girl. You shouldn't be outside by yourself.
Right.
So I went on the cameras to see what time all this shit went down, and I can see the door open, and she comes out with a phone like this, another phone like this. I was like, what the fuck? Homegirl thought she was slick to FaceTime this kid on her grandma's phone. So there's no record.
I've done too.
I mean, it's smart. But you know, I've done all this. I've done it. I've been around the block a few times. You're not gonna get one past me. And if you did, at the moment you did, but I'm gonna catch you. And she always gets caught. Always gets caught.
No, that was entertaining. I not for you, but it was for me because I was sitting there. I couldn't even finish the burrito. I was dying laughing. I was like, and I didn't. I don't know if we were talking yet or not, but I wanted to hit you up and be like, yo, where are the receipts on this? This is great. But yeah, no, that shit was hilarious. Well, you're onto something because obviously you're doing well. And I know we talked about it in the MDMC East video, but you are hitting topics that are, you know, important that need to be talked about. And then you also just did the New York tour. Was that inspired from the New York tour that you did for MDMC?
What do you mean? Was the episode that inspired by your tour?
I don't know. Did you guys I feel like that happened after the New York tour that you did with Lewis. I don't know if you guys are just like, hey, let's get in the car and drive around and do a video or do a podcast too.
So he did the interview, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, yo, I want to get these shots of New York and stuff with Martha. You know, I was like, fuck it, son, let's go. Yeah, I got nothing else to do. You know, I was working, but I had some time off, so I was like, let's go. So I jumped in the car, and from what I understood, he's like, yo, I'm gonna drive around, Eddie's gonna record, and you know, just chill with us. Yeah, fuck it, bro. You're driving. As long as I'm a passenger, I'll go anywhere with you guys.
Oops.
If I'm driving, I'll take you up the block, my man. Yeah. But so I was like, cool. And then he's not recording shit. I was like, what the fuck, Eddie? He's like this on his phone. So every time I look at him, he's like this. Oh, I'm on a Zoom call. Oh, I'm trading. Oh, this. I'm like, so I ended up being the fucking cameraman. I was like, you know what, bro? Yeah. I'm gonna do this shit. So I fucking just took it over. Not talking shit about you, Eddie. Just actually, I'm talking shit about you. You made me work when I was supposed to be a guest. All right.
But that was a great line though into that video though. It's great.
Yeah. They want a fucking video. Want to give them a fucking video. Mm-hmm. Nah, but it was already planned. It was planned with them. I was just like the last second. But that's why we came out. We hit a lot of locations. We did the second one. The second one was not as good as the first one. It was a quick one. Mm-hmm. We came up with a few ideas for maybe a third one. I'm not trying to stretch it out too thin because then it's just gonna get fucking boring. New York City is a big city, so there's a lot of things to see. But Lewis was the main inspiration for that tour video.
That was good. You guys talked about a lot of things. I liked it, and then I got hungry with that patty melt. What was I doing when I was listening to that? I don't know what I was doing, but I was like, damn, that sounds really good. So you broke that up into 4 parts. I liked it. Did you see a difference between the analytics between Wednesday and Friday?
I haven't checked it yet. I'm gonna check it out tomorrow. Check it out tomorrow. Yeah, that one came out kind of long. We try to record as many episodes as we can in one night. So we'll typically do 2. I was retarded. We'll typically do 2.
Do 2.
Try to do 3.
Right.
But we'll just do 2. But that one is like we went to go to a spot because we wanna do something similar with where we interview ourselves. Like the 3 of us, I'll ask them a question, they ask me a question, you know, shit like that. So we're scoping out the area and we're like, yo, you know, on the drive back, let's just record. So as we did, ended up being like a fucking hour, 45 minutes. And said, no one, as much as they like us, is gonna sit here for an hour and 45 and listen to this shit.
I mean, I did. I've listened to the entire thing now.
Right, but not all at once, right?
No, not all at once. Well, actually, wait. No, I did. I was driving I had to catch up because obviously, this is the thing, people. The best thing you can do for aspiring entrepreneurs is to listen to their shit, watch their videos, like their posts. Like literally, you have no idea how important that is to just support. You can support in that's just huge. And so I understand that concept. Yeah, and I understand that concept completely, but I think I was traveling somewhere. I was by myself. I was like, okay, I should probably catch up on this. So I did. I listened to like 2 hours. And then on the way back, I didn't. But yeah, I did.
That's not bad. You did 2. That would be an hour.
Yeah.
But we have hour-long episodes, but we don't know which good rating because we'll talk about George Floyd, or we'll talk about Vanessa Guillen, rest in peace. Yeah. We're talking about the blue flu and all this was going on with current times, current news. But the shit with this is that we have to hit it when it's good, because right now, for me to talk about, George Floyd, I mean, it's kind of old news. There's a lot more things going on now.
Yeah.
So that's why with the podcast, you have to hit it when it's hot.
Yeah. Are you going to cover that dude that was walking around with a gun?
Thought about it. I really didn't read much into it. I skimmed it. I know what's going on, but I got to read more into it before I talk about it.
Right.
Which is something that I try to, tell the guys to do is, look into what we're going to talk about before we go on the air and record. I can only edit so much, we have to know what we're talking about. We can't talk about like, oh, today, let me Google that. Yo, dude, how about this? Let me Google that. Yo, what about, let me Google that. We sound stupid. We're talking about
quite a bit. I listened to that quite a bit. They're like, hold on, I got my phone. Let me Google this real quick. I'm like,
that was a horrible episode. And when we record these episodes, I'm thinking in my head, like, yo, this shit was good. But then when I edit it, I was like, damn, this shit was trash. Yeah. And I tell the guys, listen, my opinion, this shit was trash. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think we should do? And, the majority vote whether we scrap the episode or not. There's a few episodes that I've scrapped, but I keep in the archives. Like, there's one that's pretty fucking rated X. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to drop that because I don't want to lose listeners, But I thought about maybe doing like a Patreon or like an OnlyFans and, offer that. Okay. Offer those episodes and behind the scenes type shit that I edit out. That's more for the future. But there's we have some shit out there, man.
Man, yes, I would pay money to listen to that. I would.
I chose podcasts over YouTube for the fact that there's more competition on YouTube and there's less on podcasts.
Right.
I mean, I forgot the numbers. I mean, I've had it before. I forgot the fuck it was. But there's so many thousands on YouTube that everybody's trying to fucking get out there compared to a podcast where it's less thousands. You can just throw that shit on your car and listen while you drive as opposed to having to watch on your phone or computer. So it's just easier. It's accessible. There's less competition on the market. So that's what we try to blow with that. I do have an idea is start up a YouTube channel and just drop videos on it. It's not going to be something like you do. Mm-hmm. But we should just drop shit here and there and just so people can, see the things that we do or the drives we go on or behind the scenes shit. Just like simple things, nothing fancy like you.
Well, I mean, from a marketing standpoint, one of the things that I did learn from that crazy bitch downtown was that you do have to, and she made a good point, you do have to be seen. And I think once people start understanding who you are, because, I'm the face of this brand. We do have a co-owner that is not around because he does behind the scenes shit. And then, of course, I have Lewis, who is, the head of MDMC East. And then we have Eddie, who's more behind the scenes too. So literally, I am the face. And so in order to have people trust me with their business, it's good for them to get familiar with who I am. And they can kind of see, I do know a couple things here and there. I am smart. I do have quite a bit of experience under my belt. So
you do. You have vast knowledge in this business. I give you that.
Yeah, thank you. Sometimes when I read well.
I can read.
No, literally, my mind it moves so fast, and it's like if something's not happening here, then I go off to the next thing, and I don't even bother until I go back to it. That's the same way I am with messages. Sometimes I'll read the message and just even get to it. I'll get to it later. Same thing with emails. Someone would say, I respond to the emails in my head, but I don't write them back because I'm always off, which I need to stop. I really do. It's starting to get a little crazy, but it is what it is. So what is your overall, if you even want to say this, I don't even know if you want to even talk about it, but what is your overall goal to achieve with this podcast?
All right. So my current goal, because, goals change all the time. Sometimes they become bigger. My current goal is not to become famous, but to be known. I want to be big like Elvis Duran. Elvis Duran's huge. He's gymongous. I would love to be on the level, but not really on being famous or a celebrity. Just being known, like you hear my voice on a commercial. Oh shit, that's Alex, or some bullshit like that. I would love to be on the radio, XM, iHeart. I don't give a fuck if it's Hot 97, whatever's out there. I would love to be on the fucking radio. That's my new thing. My current passion is law enforcement, but right now the times are rough and people are losing everything.
Yeah.
For doing their job by the book. They're being crucified for doing their job by the book, and I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do my job right and I'm gonna get in trouble for it, I'd rather just not do that shit at all. So that's why I'm trying to venture off into this world.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was extremely worried about you during the New York riots. Yeah, I checked in with people. I'm like, hey, is he okay? I should have, but I was like, okay, let's see what happens. But yeah, no, I think your job's dangerous for what you do, and I think especially in these times, and COVID didn't make it feel better.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
we were walking around with targets on our back before, so imagine now, it's fucked up. But like I said, I'm just trying to. I like doing my job thoroughly. Even when it gets to the time that you got to get dirty and get on the ground, I'll do my job, and that's what I get paid for. If I'm gonna get in trouble for it, then it's not worth it to me. I have a lot to lose. I have a daughter, I have a family, so I'm not trying to lose all that.
Absolutely not. All right. Well, where can they find you at, Alex?
Now, I had to change my Instagram because people are catfishing. Listen, all you people out there, I don't care if you use my photos to get yourself a girl. I don't care. But when that girl meets you and you're not me, you got a problem. And then people are taking some other pictures, my family pictures. I don't appreciate that. So now you can find me on Instagram at FactsFellaAlex. FACTSFELLAS Alex. That's how you can find me. The podcast is Facts of Lyfe. It's facts _0F_LYFE, as you see there on the screen. And we're the same on Facebook. Find our podcast on Spotify, on Apple, iHeart, fucking wherever you can find a podcast, we're on there. We're trying to get everywhere worldwide, baby.
I've used your images to fend off men who have asked for a date.
Have you? Was I aware of this?
Yeah, you were.
I don't remember this.
This was a while back. I was like, hey, I'm going to borrow your pictures. You were like, okay. I had to eventually.
Oh, yes. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I was like, here.
Nah, but see, the shit with me, that this guy spoke to this woman for like about a month using my picture. Various pictures. He took pictures of me and my daughter. But he used my birthday. And then, but the motherfucker, can you believe, said that since he was claiming, to be me or whatever, he claimed to be like fucking 44. No. Man, 44? What an insult. No. I would have took 30.
I just feel bad for the person that's going to go meet this guy, and it's not you. Like, damn, what a disappointment. Oh, I have another question. What is the female equivalent of a fact fella? I've been thinking about this for a while.
It's up to her. If we end up having a girl on the show, she could be a fact girl, fact woman, fact chick. Mm-hmm. I think chick is kind of like equal to fella, but
okay. Just wondering.
If we ever have a girl on the show, we can see what we find for her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we can travel again, and I end up in your backyard.
Get my name right. Got the lights.
Yeah, I want to see that setup. All right. Well, that's it for me. You can go follow Alex at all the links. Before I inappropriately said I used his picture for things as well. You can go follow MDMC Entertainment, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Please follow us on LinkedIn. And that's it for episode 14, investing back into your business. So thanks so much, Alex. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, for sure. And we will see you next week.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Bye.
Later.